They lived, they worked, they loved. And the cattle from the lake, they gave the best milk, so the best butter, so the best cheese, and of course meat and leather. And when they went to market, they made good money. Life was good. They were in the fields. They sowed, they reaped, they harrowed. And so it went on, and so it went on. And they were blessed with children. 3 young boys, 1, 2, 3 o fabian bychain praff, mynd rownd y lle a dysgu crefft o ffermio a dysgu'r holl sgiliau sydd angen. A bydd y bechgyn yn dod nôl ac roedd y rhieni yn synnu cymaint roedd nhw'n gallu bita. Roedd chi bron yn gallu gweld nhw yn tyfu, o'n nhw'n tyfu mor gloi. And one day, the 3 kids have to stay at home with their granny because the man and his wife of the lake, they're going to a very special occasion. They're going to a christening. So they go to the church and everyone is there. Everyone is rosy-cheeked and expectant and their eyes are glistening. Ac yna mae'r offeriad gyda baba yn ei freichiau and the baby's mother looking on, full of pride. The priest, he leans forward and he's going to scoop some water out of the font. And as he looks down at the font, he suddenly realizes this font is like a little lake. And then he takes the water and the water pools in his hand, in the palm of his hand. And as he does so, he thinks, yes, and the water in the palm of my hand is a little lake too. Mae'n codi ei llaw ac wedyn gadael i'r dŵr disgyn I lawr ar ben y plentyn. A dyma'r ferch fach yn edrych I fyny a gweld y dŵr yn dod I lawr. And when the cold, fresh water from the lake splashed on her forehead, her eyes opened wide and she saw the things that only babies see. And then came the wetness, and then came the cold, and then came the tears and the crying, and everyone smiled and turned to each other. And the gave the baby back to its mother. Ond, yn yr eglwys, roedd yna sŵn aflafar, cras uchel. Beth oedd e? Oedd yna rhyw creadur mewn poen? No, it wasn't the strange noise of a beast in pain they could hear, but a woman wailing and weeping in the church during the christening. And the man thought this was a terrible shame. A complete disgrace. Pwy yn y byd fydd yn neud hyn? Fe doedd e ddim yn gallu credu I lyged. It was his wife from the lake doing this terrible thing. This is what he did. Ist. They walked home in silence until eventually she stopped and turned and said, "Wyt ti'n gwybod pam nes I llefain yn yr eglwys?" And he said, "No, I don't know. Are you going to tell me?" "Yes, I am," she said. Remember, I can see things you can't see. I know things you don't know. And I know that that child's life, that beautiful child's life, will be short and full of pain for her and all who love her. That is why I wept. That is the first time you hit me. Doedd y dyn ddim yn gallu credu I fod e wedi bod mor wirion. Ond roedd e wedi dysgu wers. But there's always work to do on a farm. Mae wastad rhyw waith I wneud, a dim ond o mas i'r ceiau. Oedd byrtheg a defaid yn y ceiau, a roedd rhaid hau a medu, mynd mynd ar cnydau mewn i'r sgubor. Gweithio'n galed gyda'i gilydd. Gweithio fel tîm, gweithio fel teulu. And they all worked hard. They put their backs into their work. And sometimes, you know, he felt his old bones creaking. But she never did. She had all the energy and speed and spirits as when she came out of the lake. The boys, they made up for it. For the tree. Sa'n gwybod ble maen nhw. Hei, Ian Jo, ble ti boi? Diolch yn ôl. Good food, shelter, warmth, each other. The seasons turned. Winter was hard. Ac un diwrnod roedd rhaid mynd i'r eglwys eto. Angladd oedd e tro hyn. Winter is a season of death often. And they had to go to a funeral of a friend of theirs. A friend of theirs nearby who'd had a long illness. He'd suffered. He had been in much pain, and now he died. And they went to the little churchyard, and they stood outside with everyone else in the freezing cold. And there was the grave. Ac yna beth, dyna lle roedd arch. A tu fewn i'r arch corff ei ffrind. Oedd yn anodd iawn dychmygu. Oedd colled mawr ar ei ôl. Everyone had loved this man. He was kind, generous, happy man, and he was no more. There were many tears, there was crying. A dim o'r offeriad yn dweud y gweddi olaf. Sending the spirit of this man to wherever it is that spirits go. And in the silence that followed, suddenly everyone there could hear the same thing. Laughter, bright, cheerful, spring-like laughter, filling the barren churchyard. The man, he couldn't believe his ears. Who on earth would do such a ridiculous, awful, shameful thing? He could not believe his eyes. He turned and saw his wife's face full of joy, tears of joy cascading down her face. Doedd e ddim yn gallu credu iddi gyd fe drodd. Dyma beth wnaeth e. Ist! That silenced her. She said, I can see things you can't see. I know things you don't know. And I know that that man's life, for many months now, had been full of pain and distress. Now, finally, he's free. That is why I laughed. A dyna'r eil dro I ti fan haro.
Okay.
Work on the farm never stops. Mas i'r cae, gweithio'n galed. Hau a medu, gael cordefaid, gael gwneud yn siŵr bod popeth yn iawn o'r gwartheg. Cael digon o hwyd I bawb. A mynd i'r farchnad, wrth gwrs, dyna diwrnod mwyaf pwysig y mis. Llond cert o gynnyrch, mynd i'r farchnad, gwerthu'r cynnyrch a gwneud elw. That's what going to market was about. Taking all this produce. Remember, these magic cows from the lake gave the best things you can possibly imagine. Butter, cheese, meat, leather. They got the best prices. Ond diwrnod glawog iawn ydi, oedd y glaw yn dodi lawr ar pistyll. They were ready to go, but she said, look, we don't need to go to market, you know. We could stay here in the warm. We can take that stuff next time. Unpack it for now, put it away. We don't need the money. Just us and the boys in the warm. And he was really tempted. It felt so lovely. But then he remembered his friends. He remembered all the people he would go and see, the people he was meant to talk to, the deals he was meant to make. And they na, mae rhaid i ni fynd. Ffermwyr i ni, mae rhaid i ni fynd ar ochnad. Nawr he couldn't run as fast as he was able to before because, well, his joints weren't quite as supple, but she could still run. She could run like the wind. So when they cerdi mewn i'r cae, cerdi nôl ac y ffyrdd. And when you got the horse, bring it back here and we'll get it ready and I'll get the cart ready. Okay, go. He went into the shed where the cart was. He's getting everything ready. When he looks up, a mae'n gweld y ffrwyn. The bridle is hanging from a nail and he realizes that she will need it in order to control the horse that she's run after. He'n cydio yn y ffrwyn a rhedeg allan a gweld I bod hi gyda'r ceffyl. Ond mae'n anhawster trin y ceffyl, felly mae hi'n cymryd y ffrwyn, a'i chwdio, a chwyrlio, a gollwng, a thaflu trwy'r awyr. Mae'r ffrwyn yn mynd trwy'r awyr yn araf bach tuag ati hir. A dyma rhan y heir yn y ffrwyn yn ei tharo ar ei choes. Trodd hi y dechrau rhedeg nôl i'r llyn, ac wrth iddi hi rhedeg, dechreuodd hi anadlu, fel tase hi'n nadlu holl awyr oedd uwchben y fferm, uwchben y ceiau, uwchben y llyn ac uwchben y mynydd. Signodd hi'r awyr I mewn i'w chorff, ac wedyn dyma hi'n dechrau llafar gan i'r gwartheg. Mi wlfrech, moelfrech, mi olfrech, gwenfrech, a peder cae tonfrech, a'r hen wynebwen, a'r las geigen, a taro gwyn o Lisa Brenin, a'r llwdi bach sydd ar y bach, der y dythyn iach adre, a'r pedwar edion glas sydd ar y mas, dewchwythyn iach adre, and all the cattle that had come from the lake, and all their descendants lifted their heads, and they started to run after her call, running faster and faster, and after them all ran the man. He slipped, he fell, fe gwympodd, baglodd, cyrhaeddodd y llyn, and there, just the ripples on the lake. Nothing else. Everything gone back.